Ms. Jihan, how are you?
Hi, teacher. How are you? Fine,
I'm good.
thank you.
I'm good, thank you very much. Now, I will tell you that we have some sentences here, and I want you to tick if the sentence is correct, and cross if the sentence is wrong, and try to correct it. So, I will move to Ms. Buthaina first, and you will read number 1 and find is it wrong or correct.
What's the quicker way to get across London? It's wrong. The right thing is the quick way.
But be careful, we have the here.
The quickest EST way.
Exactly,
or
very good.
Most quick.
Not the most quick, because quick is a one-syllable adjective that we can add est. So to be, what's the quickest way to get across London? Okay. Now I will move to number 2 with Ms. Salsabil and find out if it's correct or incorrect.
Well, I'm not sure. I think more should be much. I don't know.
Wait just a second. Actually, be careful, because boring is an adjective, right?
Yeah.
So with adjectives that actually like ing, so here you are confused about using more or much. No, I guess more is actually correct here. So number 2 is correct. So we don't add much to it. So for example, here we say driving is more boring than going by train. Okay. Like, for example, you can say more relaxing, right? For example, like relaxing, confusing, we say more. Okay, now for number 2 is correct. Okay, number 3, Ms. Jihan, and I will read it for you and tell me if it is wrong or correct. The boat was nearly as fast than the bike.
I think it's correct.
You think it's correct?
The boat was nearly as the bike. I don't know.
Okay, for example, Ms. Jihan, do you know the comparative superlative? For example, I say when we have as adjective, okay, and then we add as. For example, we say as strong as, for example, as tall as. So when we have as, you add an extra as. So like, for example, here, you simply say, Ms. Jihan, the boat was nearly as fast as. Exactly. Exactly. So it's wrong. Okay. Now let's move to Ms. Buthaina, number 4.
Oxford is as same distance from London as Britain.
Britain or Brighton. Do you think it's correct or incorrect?
As same as that, it's wrong. We put the as instead of the. As same as same distance from London as.
But there is no difference here. The meaning is still complete. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like here we have London and we have Brighton. So here, for example, Oxford is the same distance from London as Brighton. So I think it's correct. Okay. I think it's correct. Because here we have the same, right? And here we have as. Okay, so we move to number 5 with Ms. Salsabil.
I think it's correct.
But be careful. Is trains countable or uncountable?
As many.
Very good. Excellent. So as many. Perfect. So it's incorrect. And so we add many. So here it will be, there aren't as many trains as they were before on this line. Okay. Ms. Jihan, I want you to do number 7. And I will read it. Okay, and tell me if it is correct or incorrect. The worst time of day, the worst time of day to travel in London is between 7:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. So do you think it's correct, Ms. Jihan?
The worst time of day.
Mm-hmm.
Travel in London is between. Yes. Wallahi, I'm not sure. Maybe it's
No. But be careful. I will correct it for you. So instead of saying the worst time of day, no, we say the worst time of the day.
Of the day.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's incorrect. So finally, I will move to Ms. Buthaina. Ms. Buthaina, go ahead and do number 8.
Women drive more careful than men. Correct.
Okay, but be careful. I wanted to be careful here, Ms. Buthaina. For example, here we have careful, but more careful than men. Be careful here. It should be an adverb, carefully.
Yeah.
So it will be women drive more carefully than men.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? That is actually, it's grammatical, it's actually more correct. So that's the exact use of this. So is everything clear? Okay. Now that's why we will concentrate more on the reading. Okay, so today I will teach you how to be fluent. Like how? For example, look here, when we link, we often link words together in English, especially when we speak fast. We link words. Like, for example, when a word ends in a constant or consonant sound and the next word begins with the vowel sound, example, more exciting, more exciting. So look here. When a word ends in a consonant sound and the next word begins with the same consonant sound, example, dangerous cyclist. So here you have to connect between the words, to link the words here. So I want you to test your reading. So for number 1, I will move to Miss Buthaina here and try to read it. Try to link words together.
Where shall I read?
Here, number 1, riding a motorbike.
Riding a motorbike is more exciting than driving.
Okay, can you repeat it again and try to be more fluent?
Riding a motorbike is more exciting than driving.
Okay, we will work on it. It will be like this, Ms. Buthaina. Listen carefully. Riding a motorbike is more exciting than driving. Do you understand? Here, as if like you are linking words together. You are not stopping at one word, between one word and another. It will be like you blend the words together. Okay, so I will repeat it one more time. Riding a motorbike is more exciting than driving. Could you repeat?
Riding a motorbike is more exciting than diving.
Very good, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. See, I think it's easy, right?
Yeah.
It will make you better at speaking, more fluent. Okay, that's really good. So now I will move for number 2 with Miss Salsabil.
The fastest train only takes an hour and a half.
Very good, perfect. So the fastest train only takes an hour and a half. So that's why it's really good. Now, for number 3, I will read it for Miss Jihan.
No, I will read it.
Go ahead.
More difficulty to drive at night than during the day.
During the day, very good. Miss Buthaina, number 4.
My father's worse at driving than my mother.
Repeat it.
My father's worse at driving than my.
Very good. My mother. Perfect. Okay. Finally, Miss Salsabil.
The most dangerous road in my town is the ring road.
Very good. Perfect. Okay. Now I have a speaking activity with you, and let's go with this. Before we move to reading section, and it will help you. It will help you for writing as well. Now, in this speaking session, we will look at the statement below and decide whether you agree or disagree. And I want you to take the ones that you agree with and put across next to the ones you disagree with. And I want you to think about your reasons. So I will give you like maybe 5 minutes to 10 minutes, okay, to decide which ones you agree with and which ones you don't agree with, and for those and tell me the reasons why you agree or why you disagree. So you have approximately 10 minutes. Okay, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay, who's gonna start first?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Slow driving cause more danger
Accidents.
than faster drive.
Mhm.
I disagree.
Why?
Because slow driving, they are coming more a little bit accident. There is no accident too much with them.
Very good.
People who drink and drive should lose their driving license for life. I don't think. Maybe they go to the to quit off drink, something like this. Take training. The speed cameras don't stop accident. I don't think, but sometimes they make them slower when they are driving.
Very good.
Driving who are over 70 years as dangerous young drive. I disagree. Okay. Cyclists should have to wear harms. I agree.
Wear helmets.
Yes. I agree. It's more safety for them. The minimum age for driving motorbike should be 25. I don't think. It's event for him. He'll be more careful. Okay. The speed limit on motorways should be a lower. ما فهمت الجملة.
You know, like the highway, there is a speed limit, like 70 or 120. Do you think it should be lower than that? It's a highway.
No, I don't think that, because the fast is يعني سرعة محددة.
So like speed limit.
Speed limit, yes. Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
This is my idea.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Ms. Jihan. And who's gonna actually begin, Ms. Buthaina or Ms. Sabir?
I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one, I agree. It's gonna be more accidents because when I drive, I drive fast. Not that fast, but sometimes there's a person ahead of you that fully stops the car just abruptly. You don't know why he fully stops the car. It's dangerous. It's wrong. They shouldn't do that.
So for you, you know that you are a good driver, but you are not sure about other drivers.
Well, for me, I'm safe at driving. I don't rush. I don't be fasting or like too slow. I'm just safe. Other drivers are just reckless.
Yes, especially in Turkey. Like, for example, somebody suddenly stops without any reason.
Or being rushing a little bit too fast.
Exactly. So you should be careful. I think you get used to, right?
Well, in Turkey, I don't know. It's just too much to take in. They are too dumb, to be honest. I'm sorry to say that.
No problem. I told you that. You remember my lesson when I told you that I almost had an accident because of reckless driving, especially in Turkey and especially in Istanbul. Like, oh my God, it happened to me like more than once. Very good. So let's move to number 2. What do you think about it?
I think it's not fair because it's a mistake. Maybe they have done it once. They have to be, taken. The license should be taken for maybe a few years. If they have done it twice or 3 times, they should be banned for life.
Very good. So you believe in second chances?
Yes, everyone deserves second chances.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Do not stop accidents. I think it's not correct. I disagree. Because when you spot a camera watching you, you would be more careful, because you know if you did a mistake, somebody would come for you. They know exactly who you are.
Exactly. So I think, you know, like for you, when you see a speed camera, you slow down.
It's not about slowing down. Just be more careful. As I told you, I'm not. I don't like fasting. Like I rarely reach 100.
Very good. Even on a highway.
I don't drive on highways a lot.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. What about now drivers who are over 70 are as dangerous as young drivers?
I disagree. Young drivers are nothing like 70-year-olds driving. They are so good at driving.
You mean that the old ones, right?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it's related to being mature?
I think, yeah, because young drivers just like to be reckless and you know, they want to show up as
show off.
Yeah, like being cocky and stuff. This is you know, awkward. It's not right. They harm other people.
Exactly. Not even having enough maturity for taking, you know, responsibility. You know, like in comparison to people who are old, so they don't have the passion to go fast. You know, like let's just go safe. Very good. What about the next one?
I think, wallahi, I don't have an opinion in this one, but I think, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, for example, why you decide to go to ride a cycle, for example, a motorcycle or a bike without wearing a helmet? You know, like for accidents happen, right?
For a motorcycle, yes, you have to do it. But I think for a regular cycle, I think you know, you can wear it or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna. By the way, you look awkward if you are wearing a bike with a helmet, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
The next one, I think I disagree. Yeah, you know, there's younger boys who can drive the motorcycle so good.
So the age is not something like a barrier.
Yeah, I think it's not. Not.
Okay, so regarding to driving, so for example, maybe
for driving, I think it's different. Motorcycles and cars, way different. It's
way different.
Like no.
Very good.
The speed limit on motorways should be lower. I think no, it's fair.
It's fair because it's a highway.
Yeah, you can pull aside if you want to go slower.
Exactly. Well done. Thank you very much for your answers. And finally, Ms. Kutain.
Slow drivers cause more accidents than fast drivers. I disagree. Because sometimes it causes accident. This make a slow driver cause accident if he drives slower. So he must drive as depend the way. If the cars are faster, it must be a little bit faster, and if it's slower, it must be a little bit slower also.
Very good answer. Let's move to the second one. What do you think?
People who drink and drive should lose their driving license for life. I agree with this because, of course, it puts the lives of others at risk, of course.
It put life of others at risk. Very good. What about?
Speed cameras do not stop accidents. It will be more controlled with that and prevent accident, but not stop accident.
Well, I like your answer. Very good. Well done. Okay. What about the next one?
Drivers who are over 70 are as dangerous as young drivers.
The time is 10:00 p.m.
What's that? Okay. There's somebody like said 10 p.m. or something. Is it me or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not me.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Ms. Jian. Is it yours?
No, I was mute.
Okay. Okay. So maybe it's mine. I don't know. Okay. Let's move. I'm so sorry to interrupt. What about this one? Drivers who are over 70 are as dangerous as young drivers. What do you think?
If he is not in a good health, yes, I agree, because it's put himself at risk also.
Whoa, very good. You are seeing the other side, not the only one side. That's really good. That's really good.
Cyclists should have to wear helmets. Of course, I agree, because it's protect him or her in case of accidents.
In case of accidents, very good. What about the next one?
The minimum age of riding a motorbike should be 25. I disagree, because younger than this age can control the motorbike also.
Well, excellent. Oh, very good. What about the final one?
The speed limit on motorways should be lower. I don't think so, because I think there is the right side for the one those who want to drive slowly, but who want to drive faster. There is the middle and left sides. So there is solution for this this one who want to drive slower than the others, and especially in the motorways or highways.
Well, I like your answers. Well done. Well done. Okay, very good. So, by the way, we have this, like it's like totally like normal, and it's basic. When you're agreeing with somebody, you say like, agree with this, or I agree with Ms. Jihan, or I agree with Ms. Salsabil, or agree with Ms. Buthaina. If you are not agreeing or disagreeing, well, I don't think you're right. It's polite, actually. And finally, if you want to completely disagree with somebody or agree with somebody, you say I completely or I totally agree, or I totally or completely disagree with you. Okay, now we move to a more, for example, I'm gonna like concentrate or focus more on your writing skill. So we will move to page 115. In this page, I'm gonna explain to you how you're gonna write. Okay, so like an article. So on page 115, there is an article for a magazine, and you have to write a magazine article about transport in your town or city. Okay, so this is gonna be by tomorrow, due to tomorrow. But before that, I'm gonna explain what you are going to write. So let's go quickly to page 115. Okay. On this page, we have to look here. We have some prepositions or phrasal verbs, prepositions, and you can do it as a homework also, besides your homework, which is writing a magazine or an article about a magazine. So you have these prepositions around, at, in, next to, of, on 2 times, on the top of, and with. Okay, so try to write these, please. I want you to write them down, because maybe we're gonna do them together. So around, at, in, next to, of, on 2 times, on the top of something, and with. Okay. Are you done?
Yes.
Yep.
Very good, very good. So, Ms. Jihan, are you done? Did you write them?
Yes, the book with me.
Very good, perfect. So, Ms. Buthaina, I like to start with you. So here you have to put 2 prepositions in this paragraph. Take your time, don't read, just try to, for example, while read, I wanted to read, and while reading, try to figure out which ones are suitable for 2 and 3.
2 and 3, it's transport in London, isn't it? Here?
Yes, transport in London.
Okay. Okay.
So I want you to start reading, and while reading, while you are reading, I want you to figure out which ones are suitable for 2 and 3.
Okay. This is a quickest way to get around the city, and there are many underground stations all over London. The cheapest way to use the underground is to get an get an Oyster card. This is like a phone card. You put money on it and then top it up when you need to, and then you use it every time you get.
Get what?
Okay, you get or كذا. Okay, you get.
What do you think?
You get okay. That you get it.
You get it?
No, there is no it also. You get
no, it.
At.
Be careful. Yesterday I told you about at, which is for a specific location. But here you.
So in or on?
No, we have to, one of them is on, yeah, but the next one is not on.
Okay. Get on or
off the tube.
Okay.
On or off.
Off the tube, you can pay Oyster card as tube stations and in new signal
agents. So I want you to take your time, and this is going to help you for writing your article. Is there any similar way in Istanbul where you can get a card for transportation? Ms. Buthaina?
Yeah, you mean yes, in that if you want the train, you can get if you want to get off that or on the train. Yes, you have to have a card, or the bus also.
Very good. For the buses as well. Very good. Okay, now we will move to Ms. Salsabil. Ms. Salsabil, you have 4. You have 3, for example, here. 3 blanks, 4, 5, and 6. While reading, okay, I want you to figure out the right ones for 4, 5, and 6. And go ahead.
Buses, they can be quicker than the underground if there isn't too much traffic. The easiest way to use buses like the underground is to just use your Oyster card. You can also buy tickets from the machines just next to the bus.
Be careful. Do you remember when I told you yesterday, whenever we have a specific location, you have to use exactly, yes.
Stops, bus stops. I didn't read stops.
Yeah, exactly. If you read it, you will figure out. Very good.
On some buses, you can buy a ticket with cash when you get off the bus.
But we used off one time. So it would be like on, right?
On, yeah.
Exactly.
On the bus. So on the bus, some of the buses operate 24 hours a day. So you can also use them late at night traveling with.
Yes.
With a double-decker bus is also a good way to see London.
Do you know double-decker? Double-decker?
It's like there's few in here in Turkey.
Yeah, 76D that goes to Taksim. Yeah. I hate it. I literally hate this bus.
It takes too long.
Yeah, for example, I will tell you something. I'm so sorry to take your time, but do you like my stories, Ms. Buthaina, Ms. Jihan, Ms. Salsabil?
No problem.
Okay. You know, like by the way, the first time I came to Istanbul, it was 2016, and I didn't only work as a teacher. I worked, you know, like in a mobile phone shop. I worked in cosmetic surgery. Do you know cosmetic surgery?
Yep.
Yeah, cosmetic surgery, but I wasn't like a specialist. I was a call agent, you know, like call center. When I had to call a few customers, convincing them to do like some cosmetic surgeries, and the center was in Fatih. So I had to take the double-deck bus, which is the only bus, I guess. It's like 76D, that because I live in Esenyurt, and the only way to go to Fatih is by using this double-decker bus. Unbelievable. Why? I know it's fast. It's not the most practical one because it's so bumpy, okay? And many passengers, for example, like vomit next to you. Like, for example, there was a lady next to me and she started to vomit because the road was bumpy. Anyway, so during that time, I had to go and come back, you know, like 2 hours. Like 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. So I had to spend like 4 hours only transportation. But that's not the only story. The story is that you don't know the psychos that I met while I was a call agent. You know, like when you are working with cosmetic surgeries business, you find, oh my God, so interesting. Like, for example, there was a lady, she sent me her picture and she wanted to do a nose job. And I told her, hey, what's wrong with your nose? Your nose is good. She said, no, I want to make it like smaller. But I told her it looks perfect. But later on, the boss caught me and told me, and he looked at me and said, is that your job, really? I told her, I was telling her the truth. He, by the way, he hung up the phone and he looked at me in the eye and he told me, our job is to lie. And now so like, oh my God, what's that? Anyway, that's what one of my experience with a double-deck bus. Thank you very much for you, Mr. Sabil, and sorry for taking your time. Okay, now let's move to Miss Jihan. Ready? Okay, Miss Jihan, take your time. You have only one to do it, which is number 7. Okay, and go ahead.
I think with
but we used
are now more popular than ever in London, especially with tourists.
So what about we used with once? I think with Miss Salsabil, we need to go back. Miss Salsabil, where did we use with?
The last one?
The traveling, yeah, you said traveling with. Can you change it to some?
Yes, on the top.
Traveling on the top of a double-decker bus. Well, I guess it could work. It could work. So yeah, you can leave it on the top of for number 6, and for number 7 is with, I guess. Okay, let's go. Go ahead and read, Ms. Jihan. Do you want me to read for you? Okay, bikes are now more popular than ever in London, especially with tourists and people who want to be fit. There are quite a lot of cycle lanes and bikes that you can hire, nicknamed Boris Bikes, after Boris Johnson, the mayor of London. What's the meaning of mayor, Ms. Bethana? Yeah, very good. Well done, Ms. Jihan. You can use your credit card to hire a bike, and the first 30 minutes are free. So if you want to read, go ahead.
Bikes are now more popular than ever in London, especially on the top of tourists.
No, we used here with, because we used for number 6 on the top of, yes.
Especially with tourists and people who want to be fit. There are quite a lot of
cycle lanes
and the
bikes
that you can hire,
nicknamed
Boris
Bikes.
After Boris Johnson, the mayor of London, you can use your credit card to hire a bike, and the first 3 moments are free.
Very good. Perfect. Finally, let's move to Miss Buthaina. You have two here.
London's black taxis are expensive, but they are comfortable, and the taxi drives know London very well. You normally tell the driver where you want to go before you get in the taxi. Many cabs are normal, cars which work for a company and which you have to phone. They are much cheaper, but makes sure you use the licensed company. Taxis or mini cabs are probably the safest way to travel late at night.
Very good. Now, okay. Now I have a question for you, Ms. Buthaina.
Yep.
Do you have a car?
Right now, no. Before, yes.
Okay. Now, do you use transportation in Istanbul?
Yes.
Describe it. Describe your experience.
It's because before I have a car, so it is so difficult for me to use a public transportation, especially when it's a full bus or full place. You can't find even stand up inside the bus. It's very difficult. Then if it's now for me, if it's empty, okay, I use it, but if not, I'm gonna usually I take a taxi. I stopped the general.
Very good.
Transportation, actually.
Very good. Now let's move to Mr. Sabil. I'm gonna ask you, like, do you have a car?
Not in Turkey.
Not in Turkey, but in Turkey, like, do you use transportation to move from one place to another?
Yes.
Describe it. Describe your experience.
Well, it's not too bad. When it's crowded, it's awful, to be honest. When you avoid the times they leave work or go to work, you'll be just good. No crowded buses or, it's comfortable. You get on time. No troubles.
Very good. So, like, overall, it's not that pathetic, or it's not that like problem for you. Like, it's not something that's scary or it bugs you.
Well, I'm by myself. Yeah, it is like that. When I'm with my mother or my sister or my younger siblings, it's too hard to keep up with them, like to stay in the same place.
Yeah, exactly, because your eyes are moving for your siblings and your mother, and like try to be like careful. Okay, very good. Now, finally, let's move to Ms. Jihan.
Welcome. For my experience, my husband drives always slowly, and me, I know to drive, but I'm always scary. I don't want to handle the
responsibility.
Yes, because I have children, I don't want to be hurt anyone.
Okay.
Because I'm scary. Just I want one question, teacher, please.
Go ahead.
Chapter 2, she answered Mr. Sabil. Number 6, what was the answer?
Traveling on the top of.
On
the top of a double-decker bus. Okay, now before we finish, because we haven't finished, because I'm gonna like say a few things before I finish the lesson. I will tell you my experience with transportation in one video. So I will send it to the group, and it literally happened to me when I first used the metro in Istanbul. So it was one hell of an experience, actually. So that's exactly what happened to me. Since then, I minimized the usage of transportation. So for here, tomorrow, you have to write an article, okay? And you can use these forms, by the way, and especially the transportation in Istanbul, okay? And I want you to write, like, for example, like an article. Like, imagine it's for a magazine. Explain to the magazine transportation in Istanbul, like buses, motorways, the metro buses, for example, the tram station, you know, like, and if you want, you can get information from the internet. So, and you have to be here, you have to focus on these things, like, for example, the most expensive way of transportation, which one? And which one is the healthiest? And for example, which one is the best if you want to see the sights of Istanbul? And which one is also the safest to use late at night? So in this way, imagine that you are writing for a foreigner or you are writing for a magazine. Your job for tomorrow is to make the best article for a magazine. So I need to work hard on it, okay? And you know, as I told you, you can get information from the internet. So, any questions here about your homework?
For my homework, I will do it, inshallah, next week.
Next week, for no problem for you. So, but for Miss Buthaina and Miss Salsabil, by the way, Miss Buthaina, I will concentrate more on conversation with you, okay? So I'll ask you more questions, so prepare. And for Miss Salsabil, I will send to the group, I will send daily on the group some texts, okay, that you need to answer them, okay? And don't worry, they are like maybe 5 questions. So is it clear? Very good, very good. So let's move back to the lesson here, and and I think we stopped at page, let's see here. Okay, oopsie daisy. Okay, here, for example, for the writing part, yes. We have a reading activity, and this is very important one. But I think let's move to Miss Buthaina, and I want you to read this one, and I think it's clear. Men talk just as much as women. Can it really be true? Let's check out, and I want you to begin reading.
Researching by psychologists. Research by psychologists at the University of Arizona has shown that the stereotype that women talk more than men may not be true. In the study, hundreds of university students were fitted with the records and the total number of words that used during the day was then counted. The results published in the New Scientist showed that women speak about 16,000 words and a day, and men speak only slightly fewer. In fact, the 4 most talkative people in the study were all men. Professor Mihal, who was in charge of the research, said that he and his colleagues had expected to find that women were more talkative.
Well, let me ask you a question, like, and be fair, okay? Be fair. I won't be sad. Who do you think speak more, men or women?
Men.
Okay.
Both of them are talkative, and this is
exactly. We should not take one side. But do you think the topics vary, or they are different?
Yes, it's okay.
Let me ask you a question, and I will move from each one, by the way, because it's rather than more conversation for you. Are you a talkative or a quiet person?
A quiet person. Quiet person.
And usually, like, quiet person. You don't like to talk that much, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now for number 2, I want to ask Ms. Sabil. Who is the most talkative person in your family?
In my family, I think my mom.
Your mom. And who is the most talkative person you know?
The most talkative person I know. Well, to be honest, I don't know so many talkative persons, to be honest. So many few of my friends talk like a lot.
Like regarding to your father and mother, like your mother is a talkative person. What about your father? Is he a quiet person?
He's more quiet, yeah.
Exactly, for balance. Imagine having 2 parents like as talkative as they are. So for balance, that's really good. And do you find it, for example, for a person like you, who do you prefer, a talkative person or a quiet person?
A quiet person, of course.
So yeah, like very good. Okay, now let me move to Miss Jihan, and the question is for you. And do you think that, generally speaking, women are more talkative than men, or men are more talkative than women?
For me, in my experience with this life, I am not talking too much. My husband talks too much. The older people talk too much. And I don't know. This is my opinion.
So very good, very good. Okay, now that's it. We will continue the lesson tomorrow, inshallah. So don't forget about your homework, and I will share you the recording plus some extra activities for Miss Buthaina and Miss Sabil. And for you, Miss Jihan, you need for next week to prepare the article. So don't forget it.
اللي هو مقالة أستاذ يعني بالعربي عفوا مقالة.
هو مقالي، بدك تكتبي مقالي عن كيف المواصلات باسطنبول.
ماشي ان شاء الله.
كيف المواصلات مثلا، اينو احسن مواصلات، اينو اكثر مواصلات expensive، اينو اكثر مواصلات تحسيها سهله. هلا for me I find the metro bus is very like convenient.
Yes,
like
yes.
It's very fast.
I agree with you.
Okay, so that's gonna be the homework. So any questions?
Thank you much.
You're most welcome. Anyway, thank you very much, and hope to be like safe and happy for tomorrow. So thank you. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Goodbye, doctor.
Goodbye.